gang, welcome back. My well inspector just left, walked me through the inspection report he had done back in February when we were in Arizona before we purchased the house. And as I suspected, the well system is in pretty bad repair. I'll show you. So this is the inside of the well house, and as I mentioned, it's in pretty bad repair. The well head is actually here. The well is drilled to about 130 feet. The well test that was done back in the 90s, they hit water at 70 feet, but they actually put the pump at about 120 feet. So that's the well head. This is the pressure tank. The pump circuits, and then on this side is the iron filtration system. A lot of iron in this water. It's a clear water iron. So the first tank is an air removal tank, and then the second tank contains the medium to remove the iron from the water. Anyway, all of this equipment is circa 1992. So it's over 30 years old, including the well pump. So the pump is currently drawing only about 4 gallons per minute, but that could be a function of the pump that's in the well being gummed up. The original well test in 1992 found the flow rate to be 12 gallons a minute, which is more in line with properties in this area. Most of the wells, according to the well inspector, draw between 10 and 15 gallons a minute. So he thought that probably the well screen or the pump screen is gummed up with iron over those 30 years, and that's having an impact on the draw rate. So regardless, I made the decision I'm going to replace this entire system, and I may do it myself. It's not that complicated. I haven't decided for sure, but I am going to pull that well pump out of the well. That'll be a project for a future video. I'm going to take the house down, the well house. As I mentioned earlier in a previous video, I'm going to rebuild this well house. And we may design a little bit different system. We may design a system that includes a holding tank, 1,500 to 2,000 gallon holding tank that the well would fill, and then we have that water to draw upon for the house and for the raised bed gardens. As it turns out, we also went up to the spring on the property, and I'll show you that in a minute. So I'm at the corner of the orchard now, the back of the property, and this is where we access the spring down this trail. And you see in front of me there is the tank to the spring. As I mentioned before, it's pretty overgrown, and I opened the end there. It does have water inside the spring, but the way this worked in the past, there's a pipe that comes out of the spring here, and I'll show you what the inside of this looks like. So you can see there is water in there, and there's a float valve at the top. What would happen is that pipe that comes into this tank would flow almost, I mean, it could be a mile or more up this hill to a running water. Water was then pulled out of that running water, and it would flow into this tank. And then from the bottom of the tank, the pipe would then flow into that pressure tank that you see back there, and then ultimately flow onto the property. The well inspector believes that this was the original water source for the home, and that at some point this stopped working, and that probably has to do with logging that's occurred in the mountains above us. Oftentimes when extensive logging occurs, it does dry up spring sources, especially if it's surface water spring, which this probably was. So he believes that that probably became dysfunctional in the early 90s, and that's what caused the well to be dug on the property. And the well, of course, is what serves as the primary source of water today. So bottom line is, I am not going to try to salvage the spring. There's no reason to do that. It would be a huge undertaking. And I'd have to go search for the water source, which is probably not on our property. So it was kind of a bummer about that spring. I was hoping that that was going to be a functional spring that I could use to irrigate the raised bed garden area. But as it turns out, that's not going to work. So again, designing the new well system to include that 1,500 to 2,000 gallon holding tank will serve well to bring water up here to the garden area. Not a big deal with the right pumps and using that reserve tank for feeding both the garden and the house. I don't have to do that 1,500 to 2,000 gallon tank, but it's sort of a backup system that makes a lot of sense. I could draw just straight from the well the way it works right now for the house and just increase the size of the motor to bring water up here to the garden. But I like that idea of putting a big cistern in. That is the system that many of the homes in this area use. So I think that's the direction I'm going to go. Anyway, enough of that. We'll work on the well house in a future video, and the well system for that matter. So that should be fun. I'm in the garden area right now, and I got the tractor out day before yesterday and started playing with the tractor in this area to see how to use the implements and how effective the tractor was going to be. And it's working out great. I'm an amateur on using a tractor, so I don't really know what I'm doing as far as leveling and so forth. I played around with the front bucket loader, kind of tearing up some grass and moving dirt. Did a little bit of digging with the backhoe down below. And today I'm going to remove the backhoe and put the box grader on and play around with the box grader. I think the box grader is going to be the implement that's going to serve this area best as far as leveling it out. I'm going to bring stone in here and of course build the raised beds on top of that stone. right, for lunch today, I thought we'd do some tailgate cooking. I've got some purple potatoes. I love purple potatoes. Some organic broccoli. Cut some of that up. And then I've got this turkey pastrami. This stuff is awesome. So I'm going to cook this up along with the broccoli and potatoes on the Blackstone today. And we'll have a little outdoor tailgate picnic. All right, let's get this broccoli cut up. Love me some brock. Nice. Throw that on the Blackstone. Get these taters cut up. Cut them thin, they cook much quicker that way. Love purple potatoes. If you haven't had a purple potato, look for those next time you're in the grocery store. They are fantastic. Really tasty. Kind of sweet. Not sweet like a sweet potato, but sweet like rich, soft, kind of a buttery potato. And pretty dang good for you too. That purple color generally means antioxidants. You know me, I'm all about the antioxidants. Oh yeah. Oh, it smells so good with that pastrami seasonings, the peppers and peppercorns, pickling. Man, that's good stuff. I'm gonna serve this up on a bun, just a regular hamburger bun. So cut maybe 6-7 ounces. Parfait. That's what I'm talking about. A little more avocado oil on there. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That is looking good right there. All right, those buns are toasted. Get some Dijon mustard, my favorite kind of mustards. Especially with pastrami. All right, let's get that out. Look at that. Ho, 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 ho. Nice. Oh man, that's going to be good. That is what I'm talking about right there. Turkey pastrami with broccoli and purple potatoes. Yes. And for a crunch, just a couple of blue corn tortilla chips. Love them. Well, guys, thanks for watching. I'm going to enjoy this tailgate lunch. Don't forget to subscribe, smash that like button. We'll see you in the next video.